get started here. And during class, if you could go ahead and mute the audio, so for the background noise, that'd be great. And find a comfortable seat. It's May and spring, but it's been rainy the last couple of days. I'm Amy. I use she, her pronouns. This is Core and Restore on Monday, May 10th. And the props we'll be using today, chair later on in class. We'll also, if you have 1 or 2 blankets, a bolster and a block, as well as a strap or scarf. We'll be using those today. So we'll be working, we're always working with the breath and yoga. A lovely idea to ground us, something to ground us for today's practice. I was thinking about spanda in yoga, this vibration and back and forth that's always happening in our body with breath. Opening, closing, focus and release. Or sometimes if we're holding a pose, maybe we're in a tension and then we let go. And it's this really lovely back and forth that also reminds us of how we're alive, and feels really good when we just let ourselves experience that tension, release, in and out. And the breath is always something we can do that with. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start on our backs today. And for those who just came in, the props we'll be using are a chair later on in class, a couple blankets, a strap or a scarf, and a bolster. And a block would also be handy if you have that. And go ahead and find yourself on your mat, on your backs. And start with your knees bent today, with your knees wider than your hips here. And just let yourself, your back, melt into the mat here. Feel the connection of your shoulders, connecting with the mat, your upper back, your lower back, sinking into the mat here. Let your hips be heavy. It might feel nice to knock your knees together here so that you can fully release your hips into the mat. You can also place your hands over your belly. And as we're arriving here on our backs, just notice how your body's feeling right now. And the quality of your breath. It's smooth or slow, or anything you're bringing from the morning right now. Maybe you're still sleepy. And just let yourself notice that for a couple breaths as we get grounded and arriving here today. You can close your eyes for a moment if that feels good as you're arriving. And a couple rounds of breath there. You can enjoy the sound of your out breath on the exhale. Go ahead and enjoy this breath, breathing on your back, maybe your knees knocked together with your feet wide. Or you can bring your hands to kind of robot shape. So my upper arms are connected to the mat here, and my forearms are lifted up and my fingertips extended here. And from here, I'll use my upper arms to push myself up into a little bridge pose, using my upper arms and my feet to press my hips up. Moving with an inhale to lift my hips into this bridge. And using the exhale to release my hips onto the ground. And if you're doing this bridge option, go ahead and move your hips up and down with your inhale and exhale. Using your arms and your feet as your roots here to lift and release in that bridge position. And as you're lowering and lifting, move with your breath, rising on the inhale and lowering your hips on the exhale. If you are doing the bridge option, you could also, on your next inhale, just stay there and explore the expanded breath in your belly here with your hips lifted. And if you're there, you can wiggle your shoulders to open your chest, your heart area up. And it's a really great place here with these lifted hips, slightly activating our whole body, but using this open position to really breathe into our belly and our heart area here. And you'll see your belly rising and falling with your breath if you're doing this bridge option. Go ahead and take a couple rounds of breath here, whether you're in your lifted bridge or if you're simply on the ground enjoying the feeling of your breath with your back into the mat there. Either way, let your breath flow and expand. A couple moments there. Feeling your breath all the way into your hips. And now open your arms up towards the ceiling wide, and then let them fall crisscrossing over your body. So your right arm over your left shoulder and your left arm over your right shoulder. And let gravity sink your arms and elbows in towards your chest here. So you're giving yourself a hug using just the weight of gravity. And let the arms sink into your collarbones here. Enjoy that weight, and there let the breath continue to flow, even as you feel this weight over you. There might even be some resistance from the weight of your arms over your body here. On your exhales, you can let, as if you're fogging up a mirror, letting the back of your throat make a ujjayi ocean breath. It's a really wonderful release here. And a few rounds of breath there. And close your eyes if that feels good. You can open and close your jaw. Go ahead and open your arms and crisscross them in the other way, giving yourself a hug in the other direction. So whichever arm was on top, change the order there. Enjoy the weight of your arms over your chest here, letting gravity rest the weight of your arms into your upper body, and let the breath be full. Notice the rise and fall of your breath here. Enjoy the sound of your out breath through the nose, as if you're fogging up a mirror, the sound of the ocean breath in the back of your throat there. And close your eyes if that feels good. You can open and close your jaw to stretch it. And 1 or 2 more breaths there. Enjoying the last hug here on our backs. Enjoying that pressure and weight. Go ahead and release your arms to the side in a V. And with your knees knocked together and your feet wide, windshield wipe your knees back to the left and to the right, releasing your hips here, feeling the nice looseness as we let them soften in the joints. This lovely windshield wiping action here. Keep breathing. Take your knees into your hands, or you can take the soles of your feet into your hands. So you can do a happy baby if that feels good. Either way, you'll feel your lower back pressed into the mat here. And in either, wherever your feet are, go ahead and rock side to side or make little circles on the ground. If you are in happy baby, you can give your legs a stretch, stretching one leg, moving it out towards the ceiling, stretching the other. And with your movements, using your breath to guide the stretch, guiding the lower back massage if you are rolling out on your back there with your knees to your chest. Enjoy a few rounds of breath here. Rocking side to side or making circles on your lower back, wherever you are. Nice long belly breaths all the way into the hips. If you are making circles, reverse the circles so that we can keep our back body balanced here. Nice, easy breaths. And open and close your jaw. Give your face a stretch too. Go ahead and release your feet here. Find your strap or your scarf. Have it here in your hands. And give you a moment to get that. And if you are on your back, go ahead and lay your whole body out now. So legs straight on the mat. We're still on our backs here, and be gentle as you're adjusting to lengthen your legs. And from here, you'll make a loop in your scarf or in your strap. And first, just refine your body on the mat with your hips in contact with the mat here, your shoulders in contact with the mat. Legs nice and heavy. Before we move into our hip and leg stretches here, go ahead and loop your strap around your foot, and you'll do it where your big toe mound and your little toe mound are. So, so it's nice and supported with those really strong, strong feet bones. And find a position that's comfortable for you as you to extend your leg here. So it could be anywhere from, your soles might be pointing towards the ceiling. The soles of your feet might be more at like a 30 degree angle. They might be facing more the wall in front of you. But the idea is to gently and comfortably stretch your hip and probably also the back of your leg using your strap here to support you. And just find wherever you are this morning. Use your inhale to lengthen through your leg. And use your exhale to relax your shoulders into the mat. Really nice, long inhale and exhale here. Staying connected to the mat, to the ground underneath you, as we lengthen through that upper leg. A couple rounds of breath here, exploring the stretch in the back of our leg. Breathing all the way through your hips. And I started with my right leg here. If you're doing the same, keep both hips connected to the ground here. Your right leg might be lifted, but explore the connection of your both your right and left side connected to the mat here. Continuing to inhale, to lengthen, and exhale to relax the back onto the mat. On your next inhale, you can open your hip to the side, using your strap to keep pulling your leg in, but exploring the stretch you'll now feel on the inside of your thigh. Again, inhaling to support your stretch and exhaling to relax your back onto the mat. And wherever is comfortable for you here, you might kind of bend and extend your knee a bit. If a slight pulse is helpful for you as we're stretching out our hips and legs here. A couple of rounds of breath there. Deep belly breaths all the way into the hips. Inhale deeply, and on an exhale, bring your leg over back towards the center and then across your body here. Crossing your right leg over your left side. We'll start to lower our leg towards the ground into this twist here with our leg in our strap. Continue to breathe into your right hip here. And I'm just coming up for a moment towards the screen, but still guiding through. So with the leg crossed over, breathing into the side hip. And using your exhale to release your back onto the ground. Using your breath to support wherever you're feeling the stretch here. You can let your right foot rest into the ground as it's crossed over there if that feels good. Couple more rounds of breath on this side. Release the right foot from the strap. And bring your left foot into your strap in a supportive place on the sole of your foot. So around the big toe mound and little toe mound is a nice strong place for that. And with your right leg extended now. You'll start with your left knee a little bent in that strap and then slowly start to extend it out using your strap here to support this resistance. Inhaling into your hip. Exhaling to release your back onto the mat here. Just stretching out that leg, breathing into your back, hamstrings, back of your knee. Careful not to overextend your leg here. But stretching in whatever feels, both like you're stretching, but not straining anywhere in your body. Listen to your body this morning and stretch into the places that feel good right now. Using your breath to breathe all the way into your belly, all the way into your hips. Using your exhale to soften. On your next inhale, opening your leg out to the side, out to your left side. Opening your hips here. Your leg might be bent, or it might be moving more towards a straighter position, your left leg here. And you will feel a stretch in your left hip. Breathe into that space and use your exhale to relax your shoulder blades into the mat. Inhaling to breathe into your stretched parts and using your exhale to soften the upper ribs. Nice deep inhale. Exhaling to move your leg towards the other side of your body, crossing over your right side here. And you'll feel a stretch in your left hip and your left gluteus maximus muscles there. In this crisscross shape, continuing to breathe deeply all the way into your hips. Using your exhale to relax your shoulders into the ground. And even in this twist, finding some connection with your left shoulder, staying connected to the ground beneath you. Even if it's not touching, just kind of feeling this, feeling the twist of that is probably in your left hip right now with your leg crossed over. A few rounds of breath here, using the breath to support the stretch, using your exhale to soften your body. And close your eyes here if that feels good. And these last couple of moments on our back here this morning. Slowly and gently begin to release your foot from your strap. And we won't need it the rest of today. And in your own time, slowly roll onto one side, a fetal position, left or right side. Enjoy a breath here on your side. Heavy, nice and heavy. And gently push yourself up. You can let your head be last there. We're moving into a tabletop position here now. If you like a blanket under your knees to support your knees, that can feel really good. Or you can work straight on your mat there. And go ahead and find your tabletop position with your shoulders over your wrists here and your hips over your knees. And once you're in that tabletop position, now go ahead and reverse your the direction of your fingertips. Usually they're facing forward, but turn your fingertips towards your body so that you're stretching now through the forearms. Sometimes this part of our body doesn't get as much stretch. And that might be plenty stretch there, just with your fingertips reversed. If you want an even deeper stretch, you can kind of tilt your hips back and you'll feel that stretch moving all the way from your fingertips, all the way into your hips here. Wherever you are with that forearm stretch, remember to enjoy nice, long, deep breaths, nice, long exhales. You can even keep your fingers in that orientation if you really need to stretch that way this morning, or go ahead and move your fingers into a more traditional tabletop, fingers pressing forward. And And find a strong contact, connection between your palms and the mat, between your knuckles and the mat. So you feel as if there's roots going from your hands into the ground. And you'll feel your knees also are your roots here. Once you have this strong foundation, stretch your right foot back. Toes are connected to the ground here. And you'll be pressing into the toes. Your big toe knuckles will feel a little stretch here. Your heels are pushing back. You might feel a stretch in your calf here. Breathe into this stretch. Keep your core strong. And your back, you'll feel is working here. Around your shoulder blades, your upper back muscles, they're all active. Your palms are supporting you all the way through the shoulders, breathing into that stretch. Go ahead and release the right leg. Push the back foot, the left toes back, straightening the back leg here. A few breaths here, stretching into your back calf. Your left heel is pushed back towards the back wall. Strong core here, keeping your hips lifted, not collapsed. Release the left leg and move back into the right leg. And this time you can either keep your toes connected to the ground. If you like, you can also lift the back heel up in line with your hips and your shoulders. If you're doing this option, keep your core active here. Nice deep breaths to support the lift. Keeping your palms connected to the ground and your shoulders in line with your wrists. A couple breaths there. Activating the core or continuing to enjoy the calf stretch here. Release the right leg, move into the left leg, taking either option, either stretching the back calf or doing a heel lift, using the lift to keep your core, your lower back muscles and the muscles around your core activated here. And do one more round here, from moving from the right side to the left side. Either lifting the heel if you like, or stretching the back calf. If you want a third option, you can also lift your left arm in line with your right leg. And if you're doing that option, really keep your core strong. Don't let your hips collapse here. Using your palm to ground you in this core lift. And no matter which option you're taking, and I'm moving into the left side now, let your breath be supportive of you, whether you're building heat or if you're stretching, using the breath to support the muscles that are stretching out right now. Good. Go ahead and release your hips onto your heels. Sink back into a child's pose. Nice deep, long breath all the way into the hips, all the way into the belly. Let all your thoughts release through the forehead into the ground. Take a moment here to set an intention for the rest of your time during practice this morning, if you like, or simply just enjoy the silence. Continue to enjoy the child's pose here, or you can begin to, on an inhale, move yourself up into a tabletop and into a stretch into this cow. And enjoying this back and forth, exhaling to move back into child's pose. Inhaling to press the heart open through the palms into a cat, into a cow, into a slight back arch, moving back and forth. Enjoying the flow of breath through this child's pose, cow pulse. It's another example of spanda, this movement that's always flowing, kind of like an ocean wave. Or if you're a back and child, just enjoy the in and out of your breath there. Feel free to continue the ocean breath if that feels good, wherever you are. Letting your exhale make a sound like an ocean, as if you're fogging up a mirror. Really great release using that ocean breath. One or two more rounds of breath there in your own time. And you can wiggle your hips side to side, whatever feels good as we begin to move out of tabletop now. And you might want to keep your blankets there. If we'll be doing a couple of lunge twists if you want to keep your back knee down. Or if you know you want a slightly more active lunge twist, then you can move your blanket. But go ahead first, and from this tabletop, push into a downward dog. So you'll use your palms and your toes to push yourself up here, lifting your hips, and just enjoy this nice stretch through your back, using your inhale to breathe into your back body, using your exhale to again find contact with your palms, with your toes, lifting your hips up into the sky. And pedal your feet here. It can feel good to keep loosening the hips, keep loosening the knees a bit. A couple breaths there, just enjoying this downward dog this morning. If you want, you can take a flow. So moving into plank, knees, chest, chin, and cobra. Pushing back into a downward dog, or just take another breath and down dog there. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up and pull your right leg towards the front of you. Make your way to your foot coming in between your hands here, however you get there. Your back knee can be on the mat here, or it can be lifted. And find a moment to bring your right hip back in line with your left so that we're keeping our pelvis nice and neutral and supportive. We tend to kind of twist our hips a bit with our right foot forward. So just give a moment of attention to your hips. We feel that they're balanced here. And now with your left palm planted into the ground, on an inhale, open up your right arm towards the ceiling into this heart opening twist. And my back leg is on the mat now here, so that I'm not exerting too much through my grounded feet. But I am in really close contact with my front foot into the mat here. Inhale to lengthen through the fingertips and exhale to ground through that front foot. Couple breaths here in this twist. You might look towards the ceiling if that supports your heart opening. Release the top arm, open up the left arm towards the ceiling. Using the inhale to breathe across the collarbones. And the exhale to ground through the standing legs there. Release the top arm. Bring the front foot back towards tabletop position. And however you can move your left foot forward best. I'll be moving from a downward dog, lifting my left leg, and then bringing it forward into a lunge on the other side. Let your right knee either be supported on a blanket behind you or perhaps lifted. And from here, plant your right palm into the mat. And on inhale, open up your left arm towards the ceiling. Use the inhale to breathe all the way into the fingertips. You might be looking up towards the ceiling. Use your exhale to sink into those hips here. Inhaling to open across the heart. Exhaling to ground into the palms and the soles of the feet. Go ahead and release the left arm here. Open up the right arm towards the ceiling. Inhaling through the fingertips. Exhaling to release through the grounding leg. Another breath there in your own time. Looking up towards the ceiling if that supports the twist. And let your exhale be grounding and supportive. Release that top arm there. We'll be moving into a little bit of standing before we come back down. So go ahead and find your mountain pose. You won't need your blanket for a little while. And in mountain pose, find your feet connected to the ground here with your hips over your ankles. And with your hands relaxed by your sides. And you'll notice your pelvis is holding up your entire upper body here. Sometimes we forget all the work that it's doing, but use that to lengthen through the spine. And just enjoy a couple breaths here, inhaling all the way through the crown of the head, through the length of your spine. Exhaling to relax into the roots of your feet. Enjoy one more breath there. We're going to practice moving with sound and with movement. And so we'll start first with our hands over our shoulders like we did in the beginning of class, giving ourselves a kind of hug. And just take a natural breath here. And then on an inhale, begin to open your arms wide like wings. And I'm just moving to the side so you see they're kind of coming behind me. And on an inhale, bring the arms back towards center. Back to crisscross. Inhaling to open the arms up, out like wings. Exhaling to fold the back arms towards center. And between each opening and closing, let a natural breath kind of be a pause in between each opening and closing. Do a couple rounds of this open and close in your own time. Now begin to open and close your mouth as you open and close your arms. So opening like a yawn. Closing as we close our arms back down. Inhaling to open the mouth as we open the arms. And exhaling to fold the arms back towards like a hug. Now, if you feel comfortable, release sound as you open your mouth. If you can, if there's not people around you, or it feels really good to let the vibrations move with our movement. Might take a breath in between. And release. You can let your volume open as the arms open. A couple more breaths there. Either simply enjoying the opening and closing or experiencing sound. And sound is a great carrier of vibration in our body and a great vehicle for that spanda energy. Go ahead and release the arms there. Lift your arms overhead now. Circle one wrist with the other. Circle your right wrist with your left. Inhale to lengthen through the right side of the body. Exhale to tilt and stretch through the side of your body here. Another breath here. Inhaling through the side. Exhaling to ground through the right foot. And release. Circle the other wrist. Inhale to lengthen through the side. Exhale to ground through the left foot. I realized I'm not mirroring you. Sorry, that's confusing, but I'm also on my left side. So another breath there. Inhaling to lengthen through the right or through the left side. Exhaling to ground through the left foot there. Release the arms here, and with still in mountain pose, bend your knees, sweep your arms up, place your palms together overhead, and that's a plenty stretch there. You'll feel through the side of your body and your ribs. But inhale now to lengthen through the fingertips, and exhale to ground. Just experience the length of your body here. Inhale. Or release the arms behind you, clasp the hands behind your back, and open up your chest area here. And enjoy that open chest breath. Inhale, fold forward. Press your hands into your calves here. And experience your calves pushing up against the palms of your hands here as you inhale to lengthen through the back, perhaps looking forward. Exhale to fold forward here. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your hands overhead, palms together, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, fold the fingertips behind the back, opening up the heart area. Exhale, fold forward. And this time, go ahead and hold your elbows if that feels good. You might let your head hang here. Breaths here, folded forward. And do one more flow here. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Inhale, press your palms into your calves. Extend your back, looking forward. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms overhead, palms up. And bring your hands to heart center. You might feel your heart beating here as we move through this flow. From here, lift your right knee up a bit and go ahead and move into a lunge now, pushing your right knee back behind you. And if you want, you can either just breathe here in a lunge, or you can also experience a twist here. And from here, go ahead and open your arms into Warrior Two. And I'm just moving to face you now. Warrior Two here, feeling the nice solid ground under your feet. Inhaling to open the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhaling to release back down. Inhale the front arm forward and reverse your warrior behind you, breathing into your side body here. Nice long breaths. Inhaling the arm up and then bringing your other arm back to a side angle. Cartwheel the arms back up and swivel your feet towards the side of the mat. And go ahead and fold your upper body forward towards the side of the mat here. Let your legs be really strong here as you inhale to lengthen through the back. Exhale to fold forward. Enjoy a couple of rounds of breath here, inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to fold back, or simply just let your upper body be heavy here. You could have your palms moving towards the ground. Your fingertips might be kind of touching the ground. You could even hold your elbows here as you let your head hang. And a couple breaths there. Nice, strong legs here as we let our upper body release. From here, you'll move back towards the top of your mat, and we'll bring our left foot forward here, back into our mountain pose, moving on to the left side. So bring your left knee up, and then step back into a lunge on your left side. Your hands can be at your hips here, or they could be overhead. Enjoy a couple rounds of breath. If you want, you can place your hands to heart center and move into a twist, pushing your elbow into your knee. Wherever you are, breathe deeply to lengthen through the spine and use your exhale to ground through the feet. Good. Now open up into a warrior two. Arms wide and spread parallel to the ground here. Find your really strong feet. Feel as if your feet are pulling the mat towards the center. And when you do that, you should feel more support under you. Enjoy breath flowing all the way through the crown of your head, using your exhale to ground through your supporting legs there. Inhale to straighten and release. Exhale to fold back into a warrior two. Inhale your front arm forward and exhale to reverse the warrior, breathing into your side body here. Inhale and then come back into a warrior two, bending the front forearm elbow and bringing yourself into an extended side angle, breathing into the other side of your body. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to release through the grounding legs. Inhale your arms back up. Swivel your toes towards the side of your mat now, and you can start with your hands on your hips. Nice strong legs here. Inhale to lengthen through the upper body and exhale to fold forward, releasing your whole torso towards the ground. Your fingertips might be touching the ground here. Inhale to lengthen through the back, perhaps looking forward. Exhale to release the upper body. Keep your feet rooted. Keep your thighs strong here to support the release of your upper body and neck. You can use your breath to inhale through the upper body and exhale to fold, or you can simply use this as a kind of quiet inward forward fold. You can hold your elbows if that feels good. Let your exhale be long. As we've built some heat, kind of experiencing how the breath is vibrating now through your body. Nice strong legs. 1 or 2 more breaths there. And slowly, gently ease your way out of this straddle position here. We're going to use our chair for a little while as we're slowing down and continuing to ease our way into these more restorative poses. So I have a chair here that I'll be showing on, and I'm just folding my mat in half so I can have space for the chair with the camera. If you don't have a chair handy, you could also use like a sofa or something, but something at the chair height. You're gonna open it up here and near your mat. I'll give you a moment to find that chair to work with. And whenever you're ready, we'll just warm up for a moment with this chair, but you'll start with your hands. We'll start with a little back stretch here, breathing into our back. So starting with our hands, palms down on the surface of the chair. Go ahead and plant your legs standing. And just a really gentle stretch through the back. Inhaling through your back body as you fold forward here using your chair. And exhaling to ground into your standing feet and into your palms. Continuing the release of the head that we were just experiencing with the forward fold there. You can kind of bend one knee and then the other if that feels good, to kind of keep stretching out the hips. And from here, go ahead and lower yourself down. And we're gonna move into our legs onto the chair. So see if the chair is the right height for you. We'll be lying down and ease yourself down gently onto the side and then onto your chair to see if it's the right height. If you find that your legs are angled up, then you're going to put a couple of blankets under you to support your reclined position. So you would want a couple folded blankets to lift your body. Even if it is at the right height, you might want a blanket under you to support you, to support your back on the mat. And then the other thing you want is a blanket over your belly as you have your legs on the chair. And another thing that is good is a blanket for your head as you get set up with your legs on the chair. So go ahead and lower yourself gently onto the ground here. And your knees are going to be at a 45-degree angle with your calves on the surface of the chair. And your blanket is going to be weighted onto your lower abdomen here. And the idea is that it helps to settle your hips into the ground. So let that blanket really weight your hips down there. And that's all you need to set up for this position. If you happen to have an eye bag or something, that can feel good. I'm coming out of this now just to see if anyone needs any support with setting up. And then we'll be in this pose for a few minutes. So let yourself find your back in contact with the ground beneath you. Your legs are lifted but supported by the chair. Let your shoulders relax into the space under you. And let your bones get heavy here in this position. Let your skin relax as well. You might notice that at first you feel heavier, and as you start to sink in. Let your hips really settle in to the ground under you. As your legs are lifted here, let the weight of your legs settle into your hips. And at a certain point, you might even start to feel a little lighter as you really sink into this position with your legs supported by the space under you. And we'll practice a centering breath with your legs on the chair here. On your next inhale, go ahead and let your in-breath be nice and slow and long. And then let your exhale be the same length, exhaling slowly to match the pace of the slow inhale that you just took. And then a few rounds of natural breath at your own pace. We'll come back to another round of this slow inhale and exhale. Let the inhale be the receptive part, an invitation, a slow invite of breath into your lungs. And your exhale is the active release, letting your exhale be as long as the slow inhale that you just took. And a few rounds of natural breath. We'll come back to this slow inhale and exhale. This time, notice the quality of the inhale. Is it rough or smooth? Slowly inhaling, inviting breath to fill your lungs and your ribs, opening to invite breath in. And when that space is full, using the exhale to release to meet the pace of your inhale. And then a few rounds of your natural breath. And we'll do one more cycle of that slow breath. Use it as an opportunity to notice the quality of your breath. Let the breath become silkier and smooth as you become in tune with your own body and breath. Beginning to invite that slow inhale, opening the ribs, opening the lungs to invite breath in. And then using the exhale as an active release of breath. Gentle flow out. And then a few rounds of breath in natural pace with your own breath. We'll be moving into a guided breathing, somatic breathing as we ease into Shavasana. You're welcome to stay here with your legs on the chair. Or if you like, you can also move into a more traditional reclined position if that feels more restful for as we move into the end of practice. So I'll give you a moment to either keep easing into this shape with your legs on the chair, or if you want to find your legs relaxed out in front of you on the mat, take a moment to do that. And as we're coming into stillness, your body temperature might be lowering. You can put on some socks or a blanket if you like, or you might even feel dryness, want some water before we ease back down into a resting position. You can also place support under your knees to support your lower back, or even lift your upper body a bit. Find an easeful place on your back, on your mat here. Let your body melt into the support under you. Your hands might be on your belly or at a V to your sides. They can be facing down to the ground to ground you, or up towards the ceiling and more receptive feeling today. And we'll move our awareness through our somatic body, through our feeling body. Bring your attention to your face, to the surface of your face here. And notice anything that you're holding in your face, any emotions or any sensation that arises when you bring your attention to the feeling in your face. Across your eyelids, across your mouth. What are you holding in your face? And the surface that we use to connect with others. And what do you feel in this moment there? Anything that arises, just notice and accept without any judgment, just noticing. And slowly move your attention to your neck. The feeling that in your neck muscles, in this space of your neck, this part of our body that holds so much, and holds our head, and holds our mind, this connection between our mind and our supporting body underneath. And in this moment, just notice any feelings you feel in the body space of your neck. And what exists there for you in your neck? Breathing gently through your neck. Bringing your awareness to your upper chest, the space above your heart, the space that holds so many of our feelings before they enter our deeper belly. Notice any feelings in this upper chest area right now. Anything that you're holding, any sensations as you let yourself experience what is held in that space, in that upper chest area. Noticing anything that arises without any judgment, just being with yourself. Noticing the breath that flows through that area of your body. Bring your attention to your belly. This deep powerhouse of breath and emotion and intuition. It's in a restful position now as we're on our back. Notice any feelings in your belly, any physical sensations, anything at all that you feel there. Gently feeling the rise and fall of your breath in your belly. Noticing any sensation at all that you feel in this part of your body, this moment. Just noticing it. Bringing your awareness to your hips. All those bones that hold so much of our body. Feel how heavy they are sinking into the ground beneath you. And as you let yourself feel your hips, bring your sensitivity to any physical or other sensation you notice in this part of your body. Our hips carry so much with us. Notice anything that arises, anything you feel without any judgment. I'm just noticing. And simply let your body rest. Let your breath be natural. You're welcome to stay in this shape as we're moving into this transition time at the end of class. If you would like, you can also begin to transition out by gently inviting breath, a deeper breath into your belly here. You can gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe open your eyes and slowly push yourself up into a seated position with letting your head be last. And find a nice, comfortable place to sit for a moment. And place one hand over your heart and one over your belly here. And release any excess breath in your body through the mouth. Inhale into the hands, into the belly. Exhale through the mouth. And place your hands wherever they're comfortable, palms over heart or palms together at heart center or at your knees, wherever feels supportive today. And take a moment to give yourself gratitude for spending this time, to people in your life, sharing this time with you, to people practicing today. And thank you so much for this time. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you have any questions, feel free to unmute and I'll go ahead and turn the recording off as well.